Welcome back to Cooking for Fitness. I'm your host, Chef Johnson, and on today's episode we're going to be making a pan-seared salmon, quinoa, paired with a sauteed asparagus and onion. Let's go ahead and get started with our fish. Today, I have a rather nice sized fish, Alaska bot, Alaska caught, and then Alaska bot. Go ahead and cut them into mostly equal fillets, and then flip them over so that we can quickly score the skin on the back. Now that we have our fish in 4 mostly equal fillets, let's go ahead and cut up our vegetables. For today's veggies, we're using simple asparagus, we're using half a red onion, and we're using 1/2 yellow onion. Once you get the skin off the onion, cut them into slightly smaller than bite-sized pieces. Now that we have our onion cut up, go ahead and cut up your asparagus into, again, bite-sized pieces. Now that we have all of our fish cut up and all of our vegetables cut up and prepared, let's go ahead and get started with our seasonings. For today's seasonings, we're going to be using a 1/2 teaspoon of basil, 1/2 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, paired with 1 teaspoon of thyme. For today, I'm going to put it into a spice grinder, grind it all up, and sprinkle it over the fish. Give that a quick rub on the flesh side. Go ahead and flip it over and make sure you hit that skin side. For today's recipe, I'm going to be utilizing 1 cup of quinoa paired with 1 1/4 cup of water. When utilizing the pressure cooker, put the quinoa on for 4 minutes under high pressure. While that's heating up, go ahead and get your pans warmed up. The last thing we're going to be utilizing is 1 to 2 tablespoons of grapeseed oil to saute up our asparagus and onion mixture. As that's warming up, go ahead and put your butter and garlic into the pan and allow that to start heating up for the fish. For today's recipe, we've used 2 tablespoons of butter and 1 tablespoon of garlic. Go ahead and throw your vegetables into the oiled pan. As your garlic begins to brown, go ahead and put your fish in, skin side down. Quickly give your vegetables a flip or a mix, depending on your comfort level. Another thing about today's episode, as our food is currently cooking up, is to remember that you don't always have to make a meal at a time. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about meal prepping as well as bulk prepping. So stay tuned to the end to hear about how I meal prep as well as I bulk prep certain foods. Remember to constantly press down your salmon to ensure that the skin is staying as crisp as possible. As your fish is becoming whiter and whiter, go ahead and flip it over. As your onion begins to crisp around the edges and your asparagus becomes to soften, your fish should be about done, your quinoa is done, we're almost complete with our quick and healthy meal. Today we've used salmon, we've used quinoa, we've used asparagus, and we've used red and yellow onion. Go ahead and give your fish a quick flip just to ensure that skin is as crisp as you would like. I prefer my skin a little crispier than others. And there you have it, a quick and healthy meal. I hope you've noticed a little bit about today and how today's been a little bit different. Today we've made 4 fillets of fish, we've made enough vegetables to kill a horse, and we've made a lot of quinoa. The reason we've done this is so that we could practice not just healthy eating, but meal prepping. So then, I utilize these meal prep trays where I can then put a cup on this side, 2 cups on this side, but typically I'll put my vegetables and my quinoa on one side and my fish on the other. If you don't like to do that and you don't want to meal prep for the week and you want to meal prep for a long term, you could take your quinoa and you could actually put it into these little bowls, about a half cup serving. It's super easy to make. You put your quinoa in it or your rice, whether it be white rice, brown rice, whatever kind of rice you choose, whatever kind of grain you choose. Put it in here, throw it in the freezer. Once it's frozen, take it out of the bowl. You can actually put it into a bag, and now you have yourself your 1 minute rice, your 1 minute quinoa, your 1 minute whatever grain you choose. It's one of the easiest ways I am able to eat quick and healthy while remaining on kind of a budget and keeping it under wraps as well as reasonable. Instead of constantly buying these 1 minute cups, I make my own. So that way all you gotta do is take that that half serving or that serving, you throw it into a bowl, put a wet paper towel over it, microwave it for a couple of seconds, 30 seconds to a minute, boom. You have yourself quick minute rice, minute quinoa, minute grains. I hope you join me on my next episode. I'm excited. It's actually a Super Bowl episode. I hope you join me for that. But please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.